Howdy everyone, my name is ThatFeeling, and today in this video I'm going to be explaining the Meet Your Match update, as well as giving my opinion on the changes it brought.
In case you already know what this update brings, please skip to the timestamp provided on screen or in the description.
Whoa, hey, I told you not to interrupt me while I'm making this video.
And I told you that I don't care. Anyways, let's get right into the update notes, shall we?
To start off, the long-awaited matchmaking is finally here, and competitive mode is finally out of beta and free to anyone who has a phone number connected to their Steam account or a competitive mode pass. Also, a sudden casual mode was released to take the place of quick play. There were, and still are, quite a few problems with it, but I'll get into that later. Hey Echo, want to play some casual mode after this?
Ugh, stay away from me, you filthy casual.
I'm okay now. The community maps Sunshine, Metalworks, and Swiftwater were all added in the update alongside Pastime with 2 new achievements. On day 2, we discovered that there would be a Heavy vs Pyro war, and that whoever won would be getting an update all to themselves before the loser.
On the main menu, there's a button that says Heavy vs Pyro. Press it and pick a side if you haven't. The winner will get a big update before the loser. Also, vote for Team Pyro.
Or, you could vote for Team Heavy.
Or, you could vote for Team Pyro.
Heavy!
Pyro!
Heavy!
Pyro!
Whatever! Let's just get back to the damn update. There is also a new comic that explains the Heavy vs Pyro update, along with the new taunts, the Balloona Bouncer, the Disco Fever, the Fubar Fanfare, and the Carlton.
Hey, Feeling.
What?
Do you know what is sad about the Carlton taunt?
Echo, don't you dare.
It'll never have an unusual version, because it's not unusual. Ah!
Get the hell off screen!
Ah, that f***ing hurt!
That's what you get for telling bad jokes.
My face! What was that boot made of?
The update also brought some lesser important things like crates and stuff, which I'll put on screen right now. And that's mainly all that came in the update, except some balance changes that I'll talk about in a second. To start off my rant, I'll be explaining the new casual mode in detail. Looking at casual mode, it sounds like a good idea on paper, especially the part where it mentions that it removes auto balance. But upon the release of the new update, people had incredibly long queue times. It was difficult to find a match, and the item servers kept on going down. So we weren't really off to a good start. That paired up with it forcing you to pick 2 game modes to search for instead of 1, and not being able to pick on what map you wanted to play on, even further turned the community off and away from it. Also, once you did manage to find and finish a match, it would make you have to disconnect afterwards. You couldn't continue playing on that server, and would have to be forced to find and wait for a whole new match. Moving on from these downsides, there were quite a few upsides. One being that Volvo actually added a party system so that you could play with your friends on the same server and team. Second being the pointless leveling stat that basically shows how much you've played. Third being that Valve did partially fix this whole casual mode mess. They did shorten the queue times and said that it's their highest priority right now. Next, they removed the abandonment penalties that were in casual. Yes, you did hear right. They did have abandonment penalties in casual, but they fixed it now at least. They fixed being only able to select 2 game modes while searching, they cleared up the confusion with the casual mode levels, and kind of left a funny note at the end of the casual mode update notes. Finally, we wanted to note that we value the role the community plays in the development of the game, and do in fact read all the feedback sent to us, as well as through Reddit, the forums, streams, and more. We are not as talkative as we perhaps should be, but we are listening. We are not always as talkative as we perhaps should be, but we are listening. Moving on to part 2 of my rant, the weapon balances. There were a few weapon balances in this update, and I gotta say, I'm kind of split between how I feel about all of them. Some were really good, some were meh, and then some were, oh god, why? Like the Thompson 6000, why is that gun still in the game? But I do feel like a lot of the weapons that should have been on that list, Machina, should have been on there. But what we did get was pretty decent. We did get a big spy and engineer buff, so that's pretty great. But for some reason, the Bison got completely annihilated. It's useless now. The projectile's so freaking slow, the projectile's hitbox is a complete lie, the hit registration for it is horrible, it was a fine weapon before Valve decided to take away one of its advertised functions and take a dump on it. It's like the mentally handicapped little brother of the Pomson 6000. Now, before I end this video, I'd like to 1. Ask you a question, and 2. Say some final words. Okay, so my question for you, please type it down in the comments below. What is your honest opinion about the update? Like your absolutely honest opinion, your entire experience, your final verdict. What do you think about the update? Do you think that Team Fortress 2 will be okay as a game, as a community? Also, if you're feeling adventurous, if you could have one weapon changed, what would it be and what would your ideal changes to it be? Finally, before I go, I'd like to say a few words, okay? So even though Team Fortress 2 is in a rough state right now, I still think that it can be a great and highly valued game. More than it is right now. I wish that Valve would actually show more love towards the game, and it would be great if they can make an updated version on the source too. Make it run smoother, give it a clean new look, fix casual, make it more like quick play but better. Update back, that's a necessary thing. Actually play their game and balance the weapons accordingly. I know that this is a lot to ask of Valve, and but if they don't actually make big and positive changes, well, then the game is going to quickly lose its player count. Like, just recently, it's sad, but Mr. Paladin is kind of leaving the Team Fortress 2 community. He's done with the game, he's going to go on and play other games, I understand, but he's just tired of all the recent stuff with Valve. I'm not saying that the game would die, but Valve needs to do something about this. If they made a new version on an updated engine, I know that is not realistic. The chances of them doing that is really low. But if they did that, and they did some, promoting ads for it, it would draw more people in. But to be completely honest, I think that Team Fortress 2 will be okay. For a while at least. Unless Valve can't get their shit together. Team Fortress 2 is still the game that it was prior to the update, in the sense that people are still their friendly selves. They're still sandwich hoobies, they're still spy crabs. Just yesterday, I was playing on a casual server as spy, and made friends with an enemy medic. He kept healing me and helped me kill his team. You don't get that kind of odd, fun interaction from any other game. Team Fortress 2 is very unique. And hopefully Valve will treat it as so, and not just as a money cow. Not just as a hat simulator that just spits out money. That's really all I have to say right now. This video took way too long to make, but thank you for watching. Take care, everyone. Yet again, thank you for watching my video. If you enjoyed it, a like is appreciated. If you didn't enjoy it, I'm sorry to hear that. Any last words, Echo?
Yeah, actually, I do kind of have some final words. Well, you see, I think that the community kind of overreacted a little bit. Now, let me be clear that the changes that Valve made were pretty big, but overall, the update was fine. The balances were alright, some were questionable. We did get matchmaking, we got pastime. It wasn't as big as we thought it was going to be, and it didn't live up to the hype, but you know what? Overall, it was a decent update. It was a little rocky at first, it had its problems, but now Valve has been fixing problems quickly, like really quickly, within the same week kind of quickly. They've fixed so many things that this video kind of had to change a few times. So, don't you worry about the state of Team Fortress 2. Everything will be fine. Don't listen to ThatFeeling over here. He's kind of freaking out a little bit, but don't worry about it. Team Fortress 2 is going to stay strong and live on for quite a bit. At least I feel that way. So, I'll see you guys all in the next video, if I make one. This video was absolutely traumatizing to make. It was painful to make. Anyways, bye everyone.